Hey, this is Yuri and welcome to BLAU Parts. Today we're going to be demonstrating how you can change the engine oil on a 2021 Mercedes C300 4MATIC with the 2-liter turbocharged engine. This is going to apply to all W205 platform Mercedes C300 models from 2019 to 2021. It's also going to apply to a variety of other Mercedes models that also use the same inline-mounted M264 engine, such as the E350, GLC300, and GLE350 models. There will be some slight visual differences in the splash pan area and engine bays, depending on the exact model you're doing this service on, but the general steps will all be the same. For this demonstration, we're going to be using one of our BLAU oil change kits, which conveniently includes all of the essentials for this oil change. We include the correct amount of engine oil that's in accordance with the recommended Mercedes 229.52 oil quality specification requirements for the 2-liter M264 engines. We also include an OEM oil filter and the oil filter housing O-rings and a new drain plug sealing crush washer. To find the right oil change kit for your Mercedes, or for more information on the recommended oil specs, fill capacities, change intervals, and performance benefits when using our pre-assembled BLAU oil change kits, you can check out the link in the description below. So let's get started.
Begin by confirming that the engine is warm. This will allow the oil to flow more thoroughly from the engine while it's being drained. We also recommend, for the best oil draining results, that the vehicle and engine are in a level position. First, locate the oil filter housing. This is on the front side of the engine, just under the charge pipe and behind the airbox intake ducting. To gain access to the oil filter housing area, remove the airbox intake ducting. This can be done by first using a trim clip removal tool or flat blade screwdriver to remove the trim clip. Pry up on the center pin and then pull the clip upward. Next, disconnect the intake ducting from the radiator valance. First, release the two top mounting tabs while pushing the ducting to the rear of the vehicle in a slight downward direction, allowing the hidden bottom tab to be released. Next, remove the intake ducting from the airbox by firmly pulling outward to the front of the vehicle. Once removed, place the ducting out of the work area. Next, to help absorb any possible oil spills during the oil filter replacement, surround the oil filter housing area with some rags. Using a 27mm socket and ratchet, loosen and remove the oil filter housing cap in a counterclockwise direction. Once completely loosened, allow 1 or 2 minutes to pass before removal. This allows the oil filter housing to drain more thoroughly into the sump, resulting in less mess during the oil filter removal. Next, remove the oil filter housing cap along with the oil filter. Quickly placing it into a small tray close by can minimize oil spills and dripping. Using a rag, clean any possible oil spills or dripping that occurred during the oil filter removal. Next, separate the old oil filter from the oil filter housing cap. Using a small flathead screwdriver, remove and replace the 3 oil filter housing sealing O-rings. While placing the new O-rings, confirm that they are seated correctly in the grooves as originally oriented. Lubricate the new O-rings with fresh oil. This will ensure that they are not damaged during installation, that they seal the filter housing correctly, and aid the oil filter housing cap removal during your next oil change. Next, install the new oil filter onto the oil filter housing cap. Confirm it seats into the base with the white rubber diaphragm facing outward as originally oriented. Next, install the oil filter along with the oil filter housing cap. As you align and insert the oil filter into the vehicle side of the oil filter housing, the surrounding coolant hose may need to be lightly adjusted out of the way for proper oil filter alignment. As you begin to thread the oil filter housing cap in a clockwise direction, be careful not to cross threads while performing this step. In our case, we tighten the oil filter housing cap to a 25 Nm or 18 foot-pound torque specification. Keep in mind to not over-tighten the oil filter housing cap, as the O-ring is what's responsible for sealing the oil filter housing and not how tight the cap is. Next, using a rag, clean the oil filter housing and the surrounding areas from any oil residue. Next, reinstall the airbox intake ducting. First, align and reinstall the airbox side and then the radiator valance side. Confirm both sides are aligned and clip in place. Last, reinstall the trim clip. Next, you will need to gain access to the bottom side of the engine. To properly perform your Mercedes C300 oil change, the vehicle will need to be elevated off the ground with the engine in a level position. We recommend raising the vehicle using an SAE-approved automotive lift. To confirm you're lifting the vehicle correctly, you can reference your factory owner's manual for the proper vehicle lift point locations and safety procedures. Next, remove the splash pan. This is held in place with a total of 8 8mm hex head fasteners, 4 on the front side and 4 on the rear. As you remove the last fastener on the rear, support, slide, and remove the pan to the rear of the vehicle. Next, locate the oil pan drain plug. This is on the driver's side left of the oil pan. Using a 13mm wrench, loosen and remove the drain plug in a counterclockwise direction. As you remove the drain plug, allow the oil to drain into a suitable waste oil drain pan. Once you've confirmed all the oil is drained, reinstall the drain plug and sealing washer, threading it in a clockwise direction. Using a 13mm socket and torque wrench, tighten the drain plug. In our case, we're tightening it to a 25 foot-pound torque specification. Next, use a rag to clean any excess oil from around the drain plug area. Next, locate and remove the oil fill cap. Begin filling the engine with the recommended Mercedes 229.52 specification engine oil. The engine oil fill capacity for this all-wheel drive C300 is 6 liters, or 6.6 liters for the rear-wheel drive models. To learn more about the correct oil specification options and oil fill capacities for the Mercedes M264 engine, see the link below. Once you've completed filling the engine with oil, reinstall the oil fill cap. Next, start the engine and allow it to idle for around 10 seconds. This will allow the engine's oil system to pressurize, giving you the opportunity to inspect and confirm that you have no oil leaks coming from the oil filter and drain plug areas. Once you've confirmed you have no oil leaks, you can reinstall the splash pan. First, line up and slide the front mounting tab of the pan in place. Begin by hand tightening the 4 8mm hex head fasteners at the rear of the pan. Next, reinstall the remaining fasteners on the front side of the splash pan. Last, evenly tighten all splash pan mounting hardware. Next, prepare for the final engine oil level check. With the vehicle in a level position and ventilated area, allow the engine to idle. Using the vehicle's onboard multimedia computer system, use the left steering wheel buttons to access the service category on the gauge cluster. Scroll down to engine oil level and allow for an oil level measurement. The oil level measurement will not be available until the engine reaches full operating temperature. This may take around 10 to 15 minutes. Once the engine has reached operating temperature, allow for an oil level measurement. The oil level is correct between the minimum and maximum oil level indicators. Last, turn off the engine.
So that's an overview on how to change the engine oil on a 2021 Mercedes C300 or any of the other Mercedes models that use the inline-mounted 2-liter M264 engine. If you have any other questions or for more information on our convenient pre-assembled BLAU fluid change kits or any other high-performance engine oils, transmission fluids, gear oils, or transfer case fluids for your Mercedes, you can visit our website at blauparts.com. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.